Let's find out what's new with our latest release, Axiom.ai version 4.8. I'm Alex Barlow, co-founder. Let's dive in. So first up in this pretty meaty release, I have to say, is our unlimited desktop concurrency. What does that mean? That means you can run as many bots as you want using our desktop app. So if you have your own server and you wish to run Axiom, install the desktop app and then use our new concurrency feature. Please note, if you want to use this feature, you will have to edit the Axiom, go to settings, you'll see the concurrency under run options, and you'll have to turn on desktop concurrency as an option. By default, cloud concurrency is already on. Okay, let's look at our next new feature. So if I scroll down the page, Airtable integration. So we've already got a Google Sheets integration. We've got AI integration that allow you to use pretty much any AI model. And now we've also got an Airtable integration. So you can pull in data from your tables. Let me just show you the two steps we've added. If I click to add step, I search for Airtable, you can see we've now got steps that allow you to read data from an Airtable or write to your Airtable. You will need to authorize, and of course you'll need your base ID and table name to use those steps. Okay, moving swiftly on, file read capabilities. This one's a pretty interesting new feature. So you can now read data from, let me just show you if I add the step. If I search for read, now I can read data from a local file, for example, from a PDF, a Word file, etc. Or I can read data from a Google Drive file. That's pretty cool. And that will allow me to do things like basically select a PDF on my desktop. Let's say I've done that. And then I can just add an AI step, integrate with AI. I can choose an LLM I want to use. And I can then pass basically that data from the local file into the AI step, so I can extract any unstructured data from that PDF. That's a pretty cool new feature, and I'm going to make a more in-depth video on how to use that feature. Next up, runtime email usage. So notifications. So quite a few users have been hitting their runtime limits, and they've been wanting to get more runtime, and they needed notification before that happens to make sure they didn't have any downtime. So we've added notifications. Of course, we don't want you to be spammed with those notifications. So you can now disable them. If you go to main menu, my account, and then you can see runtime warnings, and you'll have an option to turn them on or off if you don't want them. But we think they're pretty useful, so no one runs out of runtime and has any downtime. New metadata scraping step. This one's pretty cool as well. So all those web scrapers using Axiom, we've now got a step that if I just open up a test Axiom, if I just type in meta, not meet, you can see I've got a scrape metadata step where I can literally set the metadata I want to scrape. Lots of options there, from Twitter card to SEO to link, social media, analytics, tracking, etc. So that's an exciting new feature for the web scrapers out there. And following on, another huge feature releasing is one of the problems everyone runs into when scraping is your bot being blocked. Essentially, Cloudflare will block you. And now we've got some bypass bot detection, which we had working on the desktop, but we hadn't released on the cloud, but it's now released on the cloud. So if we go to settings, we can go to bypass bot, which if I just remind myself where it is, down here in the Chrome, by default, it's not turned on. So you'll need to use automatic bot detection, and that should get you past Cloudflare when you're doing your large scraping runs or trying to automate some data behind a login. You can also attach to your existing version of Chrome. That's a pretty cool and handy new feature. And as with any release, we've got a whole host of other minor fixes and tweaks, improving Axiom with every new release. Thank you for using our tool. Goodbye.